Cold Approach is like a video game with no checkpoints. If you ever played those type of games, where no matter how far you get, the very next day you have to start all over. No one really cares about your success from yesterday. But Soul Circle is like a video game with checkpoints where you always leave off where you last play the game. And
like Cold Approach is super fun. Like, don't get me wrong, I really enjoy it. But did I get any results from it? Like, hell no.
I mean, let's just go to this. Like, you met your girlfriend at an event.
Yeah,
it was a actual MOA event.
Exactly. Like, I met my girl at an event that we put together, and it wasn't like we put the event together to like get girls. We just met a whole bunch of people there, and then we ended up hanging out later. We exchanged Instagrams, of course, and then she watched my story for a couple of weeks. I ended up flying out to where she lived, and then we just hung out for a while, and we just like totally hit it off. And it was like, literally was because of social media and events that I met her. It was zero cold approach. Like, there was no cold approach skill involved. She walked up to me and talked to me. I'm not even kidding. And so, like, that's the difference between cold approach and like event planning and social circle, is that you have to go through, and you actually have to with social circle, you have to every single day you're starting at ground zero.
Yeah.
And then with social circle, it's this thing that compounds, what we call the social snowball.
Yeah.
And it continuously builds up more and more and more to the point where you're just getting invited to places automatically. And you can talk about this a lot too, because I know you spent a lot of time in the cold approach and the pickup community, and you've definitely seen like a completely different world with social circle.
Oh yeah, like working with Michael, learning from him completely changed my life, because like it was brought much more meaning, where I'm like combining cold approach and social circle. Cold approach, for anyone out there, is essentially the skill set of turning a stranger into a friend. So it's nothing crazy. It's just, how do you go up to someone that you don't know, build rapport, and leave with like a meaningful relationship? And with social circle, kind of working with you, made my life much more enjoyable, much more meaningful. Instead of going to the bars just to chase girls, I'm meeting cool guy friends, meeting cool girlfriends, being invited to all these cool events. And my life is like literally 10x ever since I started learning from you. And then 2 points I want to say, I guess 3, is one, social media kind of does all the heavy lifting for you. Like, to show that I was at Dan Bilzerian's place, to show that I was traveling for the last few months, to show the McLaren that I had the week I was here. Like, I would have to spend 5 hours to show that I'm a high status guy to a girl, and then spending that 5 hours just me qualifying the entire time. So I'm actually less attractive, opposed to just posting on my Instagram. I learned the power of Instagram my first year in Vegas, because you made me start an Instagram. Before that, I did not have one at all. And I remember this girl that I met here wanted to see my Instagram before we agreed to meeting up in person. And I didn't have one. And then she's like, what about your Facebook? And I had like 2 photos. Yeah, and my friend was like, bro, she's going to think you're a serial killer. But I learned the power of social media when there's this girl that I met in Vegas. A year later, shits me up. And she's like, hey, are you still in Vegas? I'm like, how do you even remember me? She's like, oh, I've been watching all your stories. I'm like, wow. Like, coming from a marketing perspective, social media is like nurturing leads. I'm like, not only has all my posts been nurturing the leads that I met yesterday, a week ago, a month ago in Las Vegas, it's also been nurturing all the leads that I met a year ago on the other side of the world, whether it's for relationships, business opportunities, men, or whatever. But yeah, when it comes to cold approach for social circle, when I used to do a bunch of calls, I would tell guys, like, cold approach is like a video game with no checkpoints. If you ever played those type of games, where no matter how far you get, the very next day you have to start all over. No one really cares about your success from yesterday. But social circle is like a video game with checkpoints where you always leave off where you last play the game. And, you know, living in Medellin, I come to Vegas every so often, and the social circle I built 3 years ago, I still have access to. Even in, we went to Cabo for a mastermind event, and then knowing what I know, met some people, invited them out to an event, built a social circle there. The second time that I went, I wasn't starting at Cabo from scratch. I was starting with the 5 friends I made the last time, who invited their friends out, met really cool people. So,
I mean, even at that mastermind event, in like a really micro context, like you networked into the VIP access of the mastermind because of your social circle. Like, I remember I landed, and then you're like, "Hey, I'm in VIP. Like, come over." And I'm like, "What?" Yeah, and then you like literally let me in the VIP room, and it was just incredible.
So if you guys take Men of Action at the end of the MOA Advance, the second part of the modules, one of the last homework assignments is get yourself in somewhere you're not supposed to be. Yeah. Now, nothing illegal.
To be there.
Not illegal. But like, not illegal. Getting backstage at a TED Talk and meeting Elon Musk would be exactly what I'm saying, or getting into VIP and getting on stage with Marshmello. anything where you talk your way into a place you're not supposed to be. We go to the mastermind you're talking about with Cole Gordon. I sleep on Cole Gordon's couch when I go to Scottsdale. That's a different type of networking that we're talking about. It's like beyond VIP. Me and Cole just go eat together. You know what I'm saying?
No,
whereas other people are, paying hundreds of thousands of dollars. Like same thing, like PBD will charge for like one-on-ones with him $100,000, and me and PBD will just talk. Like it's a very different type of networking that happens because of it.
But, that's what I was gonna say earlier, was like social circles and no one skill set that you can use to literally accomplish any single goal there. Like I use Social Circle to get into that VIP section. You had to pay an extra $20K for. You use Social Circle to connect with PBD, where it normally costs $100K.
Yeah.
One of the things we're working on is IG shoutouts, and there happened to be a guy there who's like the best person in the whole entire world. I invited him out to an event we're gonna have in October, and most people pay him like $50K for his mentoring, and we're gonna be able to get it for free.
No, like a guy will pay $100K for mentoring, and I will take this guy on stage with Marshmallow, and he will talk my ear off the whole time.
Yeah.
Like this is constantly happening. You think about like Rollo has one-on-ones, and me and Rollo talk all the time. Like anytime I want, I can pick up the phone and I can talk to Sosnick, I could talk to Myron Gaines, I could talk to fucking Andy, I could talk to Bilzerian, I could talk to any of these guys. Ty Lopez. Like again, if you guys wanted to learn how to run ads, how about the guy who like made hundreds of millions of dollars from running YouTube ads? I can call up Ty anytime I want, and we can just talk about whatever. These guys are open. Same thing with Dan Fleischman, same thing with Ryan Stewman, same thing with Wes Watson, same thing with Brad Lee. Like these, is everyone going to get to that level? No. But my point is this whole idea where like there's these people, like again, Andy Frisella is a great example. Andy Frisella will charge certain people to go speak $100K, $200K, but his friends, he does it for free. Same thing with Brad.
Yeah.
Brad is like 25, 50 grand to go speak. For his friends, he'll do it for free. And like that's just kind of the way it works. And so you'll learn from these situations that network. You want to help people in your network. Bilzerian, he's considering doing his own program. And I told him, I was like, because one of his managers was like, why are you helping us so much? Like we really appreciate your helping us. I'm like, your success is our success. You succeeding in this field only helps us because people buy multiple courses, and us being any way aligned with you is just going to help us. And a lot of people don't understand this. It grows the pie for everyone, for sure. In fact, there's a bunch of people who aren't in self-help who will get into self-help because Dan started a course.
Exactly. Yeah. But no, it's amazing to see all the results our clients been able to achieve, just because going back to the Soul Circle literally is the number one skill set you could ever learn to accomplish your goals as fast as possible. Yeah. Like I remember that mastermind event, he was like, oh, find the leaders in your space and speak at their event. I texted that to Mike, like, hey, where are some leaders and how can we speak at their event? 20 minutes later, the number one, it was like the Myron, the Fresh and Fit. You're like, hey, we're confirmed to speak at their event. And like most people would take, like the book he recommended was like 8 hours long. I have to read the book for 8 hours. Then I have to scour through, then message people. If my Instagram's not on point, they're never going to respond. Yeah. So like what would take the average person 10, 20, 40 hours to do, with your social circle, you're able to do it in 20 seconds. And it's cool to see clients come and exemplify that in the course, where whatever their goals are, clients have been able to achieve it in like resounding speed just because they learned how to network with the right people.
Yeah. Just to add on top of that, there was a guy I was talking to the other day.
Yeah, you hung out with the Note Boys.
Yeah.
Like we were first.
More so from like the client perspective, I had this guy asking me like, how is this going to make me money? And I got this directly from Alex Hormozy, so I didn't come up with this, but I thought it was great. It was a great analogy. It's like, what's the opportunity cost of not knowing how to make $1 million a year? It's $1 million a year. How do you find out how to make $1 million a year? From somebody who makes $1 million a year.
I love that.
So you need to network with people like that, or you're never going to get that information, or you need to pay for that information. But you can also use Instagram and Social Circle to just meet those people, be friends with them, and then they'll tell you for free.
Yeah, like 70% of the people in our program are entrepreneurs. They're too busy. They had success, and now they sacrifice their social life for the business, and now they want to learn how to have that 10 out of 10 lifestyle, that social circle. So like there's countless people in the program that make $1 million a year, $10 million a year. I was talking to one of our clients the other day that makes $40 million a year. So it's crazy just the type of people you can surround yourself with like the first second you join the program.